The wind carried the faint scent of gasoline and asphalt across the small-town gas station. The sun was sinking low, painting everything in shades of gold and amber. Sarah pulled her old sedan up to pump number 2, her young son asleep in the back seat. It had been a long day. She'd just finished her shift at the diner, her hands still smelling faintly of coffee and dish soap. Her paycheck was barely enough, but it kept them going. She smiled faintly at her son's peaceful face in the rearview mirror. He was her reason to keep pushing forward. As she stepped out of the car and began fueling, 2 tattooed men leaned against a nearby truck, their laughter cutting through the quiet evening. They noticed her, exchanged a look, and began walking her way. At first, she ignored them. Women like her learned to pretend they didn't hear, but then one of them made a crude comment. She froze, her pulse quickened. "Hey, sweetheart, need a hand with that?" One of them sneered, stepping too close. She tried to stay calm. "No, thank you. I'm fine," she said softly, glancing toward her car, where her son still slept. The man smirked, his friend circling around the other side. "Oh, come on, don't be shy," he said, reaching out to grab her arm. Her voice trembled as she pulled away. "Please let me go." But they didn't stop. One of them blocked her path, while the other yanked her bag from her shoulder. Her hands shook as she reached for it, trying to take it back. "That's mine," she cried, her voice breaking. Just then, the sound of deep, rumbling engines echoed from the distance. If you believe that no woman should ever feel unsafe, that kindness and courage still matter, pause for a moment and hit like, share, and subscribe. Let's stand together for respect, for strength, and for doing what's right. The sound grew louder, powerful motorcycles roaring down the road, their headlights cutting through the dusk. The 2 men turned their heads, uneasy. Within moments, 6 bikers pulled into the gas station, their leather vests catching the light, engines growling like thunder. At their front was a tall man with a silver beard and calm, intimidating eyes. His name was Jack, leader of the Iron Brotherhood, a group known around town not for trouble, but for their quiet code: protect those who can't protect themselves. Sarah didn't know that minutes earlier one of Jack's bikers had seen the scene unfolding and called it in on their radio. Jack's boots hit the pavement as he stepped off his Harley. The 2 men froze. His shadow fell over them, heavy and deliberate. "Is there a problem here?" Jack's voice was low, controlled, but it carried power. The thug holding Sarah's bag laughed nervously. "Just talking to the lady, man. No problem." Jack's eyes flicked from Sarah's trembling hands to the man's grip on her bag. His jaw tightened. "Then you won't mind letting go." When the man hesitated, 3 more bikers dismounted, closing in silently like wolves. One of them reached out and gently took Sarah's bag, returning it to her. She held it to her chest, tears welling up. "Ma'am, you okay?" Jack asked. Sarah nodded shakily. "Yes, thank you." Jack turned back to the 2 men, who were now backing away. "You ever think about putting your hands on a woman again? Remember this night." His tone was calm but laced with warning. "You won't get a second chance." The men muttered something under their breath, scrambling into their truck and speeding off. For a moment, the only sound left was the low idle of motorcycle engines and Sarah's unsteady breathing. She broke down, covering her face with her hands. Jack stepped closer but kept a respectful distance. "You're safe now," he said softly. "You're not alone." Her son stirred in the car, rubbing his eyes. "Mom? What happened?" Sarah knelt beside the open door, brushing his hair from his forehead. "Nothing, honey. Just some kind people who helped us." Jack smiled faintly. "You drive safe, all right? We'll make sure you're good to go." As she got back into her car, she looked back through the window. The bikers stood in a line, silent protectors, in leather and steel, the engines rumbling softly like a promise. When she drove away, tears rolled down her cheeks, not from fear, but from gratitude. She'd thought the world had forgotten how to be kind. But that night, she learned that even strangers could become guardian angels. The next morning, the story spread across town. Someone had recorded the scene on their phone, posting it online. The video went viral. Bikers protect single mother from thugs at gas station. People commented by the thousands, some thanking the bikers for standing up, others sharing their own stories of strangers who'd stepped in when no one else would. Jack and his crew never commented on it. They didn't do it for fame, they just did what was right. But for Sarah, that night changed everything. She found courage again, the kind that comes from knowing there are still good hearts in the world. If this story touched your heart, Let us know in the comment. And if you believe the world needs more people like these bikers, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps spread kindness, one story at a time. Sometimes heroes don't wear capes, they wear leather jackets and ride motorcycles. And sometimes all it takes to change someone's life is the courage to step forward when others walk away.